Welcome to the MSC Technology Centre and our very first episode of the podcast. We've got none other than the big cheese himself, Big Dave Darby, with us. Dave, thank you for coming on for the first episode. How are you feeling about being on?
Excited, Matt, just to be in your presence, really, and to finally ask you for your autograph. You're a bit of a star now, aren't you, Matt?
Oh, growing the exposure for MSC. That's my mission statement. So, Dave, before we start delving into what we do as a business, who is MSC?
Well, we're obviously a national distributor of metalworking product, but we're far more than that. I mean, apart from the obvious things, we've got a massive product range, MRO metalworking product, 120,000 lines, an on-site presence. We've got sales guys up and down the country, service in the UK, but we're far more than that. And we've set ourselves up to pretty much not only support the market in terms of what their needs are, but also to change the market as well. We've tapped into a real need out there with our customers, especially from an engineering point of view, from an inventory solution point of view, but also service as well. And I can expand on it later if you want, but we've got an award-winning service. And a lot of companies, a lot of distributors say they're number one in the market. A lot of companies say, yeah, we're the best ever, but we can prove it. We've been tested, we've been awarded. So, yeah.
So how long have you been with MSC?
7 or 8 years. I've been in the industry. I was adding this up the other day. I've been in the industry for about 25 years now. I know I don't look old enough, but 25 years. But in MSC, about 7 or 8 years. I joined as a sales director.
Yeah.
So I was a marketing director, and then I was privileged enough to get the MD position about 5 years ago.
So in that time you've been here and you've worked your way up, obviously you've seen lots of changes going on out in the world and in the industry. Is there anything that you've seen out there that has forced you to change the way or the trajectory of what we're doing as a business?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think, like a lot of organisations, the pandemic has completely reshaped our business. But the main thing is, because my background in sales and visiting hundreds of manufacturing customers, you get to see what they really need. And the one thing that's in common with all of them is they don't want just another sales guy knocking on the door trying to sell them product. What they're really looking for is a supplier or a distributor that will stand shoulder to shoulder with them during some of the most difficult times this country has ever seen. And I like to think that we do that. Whether it's on the shop floor, finding engineering solutions that save time, money, help them get to market a lot faster than they currently do today, help them win orders themselves, or whether it's through an inventory solution that a lot of people do, but I'd like to think that ours is market leading, or it's just down to product selection. One of the other factors as well is around customer service. I don't know what your experience is like, but if you ring a contact centre nowadays, they make excuses for poor service before you even get through. We pride ourselves on providing incredible service. So really, I think, going back to what I'm seeing out there, you can't just flog tools. You have to be there as a partner, and our customers not only demand it, but they need it, and they need it desperately. So our role is to stand shoulder to shoulder with these guys, as I said, and really understand what they really need and shape our business accordingly. And because of the size that we are, we can be agile, we can change, we can introduce new services, and we can actually change the way we operate almost overnight to meet the sort of demands of a changing market.
You mentioned about the engineering team. Now, I'm heavily involved with engineering with the Technology Centre, and when I came into MSC, I came into the applications team. Now, I think back then we was about 10, 11 strong, but let's rewind a little bit to about 4 or 5 years ago. I know there was only 3 to 4 engineers out on the road. Right. What made you, or what was the catalyst to make you think we need to start pushing this out as a solution?
There's a story I tell, and I won't name the customer obviously, but I was out, we had 3 engineers on the road, and they were high-class application engineers, and I went out to a customer. It was a Formula 1 customer, and Formula 1 companies, some of the best engineers in the world. And I met my contact there, and I looked over and there was a CNC machine and there was a scrum around this machine of engineers. I said, what's going on over there? The guy laughed. He said, look, come across, have a look. And in the middle of this scrum of some of the most cleverest, best engineers in the world working for this Formula One company was one of our engineers. It was at that point I thought, there's something in this that we need to expand. And it was some time ago. So we've gone from 3 engineers up to 12 engineers. And I'd like to think, you know, and not to get too big-headed, Matt, but our engineers are some of the best in the UK. And we've proven that time and time again because of the results that we have.
I can vouch for that because I can work with them very closely, and I am constantly learning off that team. So let's just talk about the tech centre a little bit. So we've got the business, how we've evolved into an engineering solution provider, and then we've built this tech centre. What was the idea behind you to invest in this?
It goes back to the story about we can't just be another distributor of tooling. We have to be different. We have to make sure that we stand out from the crowd and really tap into what our customers need. And you know yourself, when you're trying to get onto a machine shop and carry out tests and advise the customer on what they might potentially need, it's not always possible. And by having this tech centre, we're able to prove out jobs, we're able to do our own tests, create, you know, the right solution for the customer away from them and go back and present that, or even live stream it from our tech centre because of the systems that we have here. But it's more than that. It's also to showcase what we have within the industry. It's to create an environment where customers can come in. We can help educate. We can change views around the whole metalworking industry, and also help them think about where they might be going as an organisation themselves by showcasing some of the technology we have and some of the digital technology we have in terms of how we can join things up in terms of end-to-end processes as well.
I think a big thing for me as well was when we first had this facility built, was yes, we was getting the projects in and we was working with our customers and the solution providers, but it was also, we've also created a stage and a platform for ourselves.
Sure.
To talk about what we do and why we do it and the suppliers we work with, and if anything, to shout about what they can bring to our table as well.
Yeah.
So that came to light to me quite quickly. Just before we move on, still sticking with the engineering theme, do you think that the skills gap which is out there at the minute is somewhere that we can help step into with the customer?
Yeah, I mean, it's a every time I speak to a customer, it comes up in conversation time and time again. We recognise that, and we're doing our bit to trying to address it in a small way. And the first thing is we've expanded the engineering team. You know, our 12 application engineers on the road, because our customers are struggling to recruit their own. They need advice and guidance, and I've seen huge blue chip organisations look for that advice because they've run out of ideas themselves. They're struggling to find that expertise and the skills within their own organisation, so they come to us. So there's one aspect. We've got our own engineering team that can solve that solution, but if you're really committed and passionate about doing something with UK manufacturing, then you've got to go beyond that. So what we did a while ago was invest in a company called Next Gen Makers. And we own half the organisation, and Next Gen Makers is all about finding young apprentices and marrying them up and helping them to move into the world of manufacturing. And it's something that we're really passionate about. We don't particularly make any money about it. We haven't commercialised it in any way. It's just something we believe in, therefore we've invested in it, and we support Next Gen Makers to find the next generation of engineers coming through to the industry as a whole.
I think one thing that stuck out for me is coming directly from the shop floor and being in that environment where you can see the struggles and the everyday challenges that we face, is that then when I stepped into this sort of role and working for this sort of business, you often see things out on the market that you think aren't in your own grasp. But by working with us and working with those customers, I can see how we make that readily available for them. So the solutions are there. It's just getting them to tap into it, and by working with us, they can get into that resource.
Can you give me an example, Matt?
Examples are, let's say you're talking about like Vericut. Now, Vericut's a verification software, which a lot of people think is, they can't go down that route. It's too expensive. It's not going to do nothing for the shop floor, nothing for the production. But then by working with us and our engineers, they get to see that software in action before they commit to buying that sort of software. So they can see the gains without them having to implement it on their own shop floor. So it's that side for me that I'm quite passionate about. We're showing them the way how to make themselves better.
I think that goes back to what I said around, as a managing director of a business, I get lots of salespeople coming into me trying to sell me something. And 9 times out of 10, I'm looking at my watch and trying to get them out the door. It's those that come in with something, a solution to often a problem that I didn't know I had. And they're looking to help me become better at what I do, or the organisation to become better at what it does. They're the people that I want to speak to. So, and I think that's where you're going.
Yeah.
It's, right now, our manufacturing, the manufacturing companies in the UK, they need something different. They need that level of support. And I think we're giving it.
So with everything that we've spoke about, what are the ambitions for MSC moving forward?
Our ambitions are clear. It's a direction that we have throughout the organisation. We have an ambition to become number one in the metalworking space. What that means is to become the largest in terms of sales from a commercial aspect, the best in terms of solutions and our capabilities within servicing the world of metalworking, but also the most recognised. And at the moment, it's one of our challenges as an organisation is to become recognised in that space, because we do many things and because we sell a really broad range of product. Quite often, people don't know about our capabilities that we've been talking about. Yeah. So it's to be recognised by the industry, by our customers, by our supply base, as being number one in the metalworking arena, which is something we are absolutely going to achieve.
Well, I'm excited for the future.
So am I.
And it's been great to have you on.
Yeah,
so thank you very much for joining me. And
can I have your autograph?
Can I have yours? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.